Welcome and thanks for joining us here on the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Deb Gillard, your host, and today is Wednesday, July 11th. We've got a great program for you, and of course you're watching us on Charter Channel 8 cable TV in the Owatonna area. But beyond that, of course, we have made it out to the internet in many ways. You can find us if you just plain old Google us. We're going to be on YouTube. We also have a Facebook page, which we encourage you to like. And once you do, you'll know when our new shows are uploaded there. So if you can't catch us on Charter Channel 8 or know of somebody who is out of the viewing area or does not subscribe to cable, that is, we have lots of other ways for you to catch the Owatonna Today Show. We also welcome your information as well. We pass along a lot of information about events that are coming up in the community at the end of each program. And sometimes our viewers, give us good ideas for guests and show topics as well. So please take note of our cell phone numbers and email address on the screen throughout the course of the program and get in touch with us that way if you wish. We have great Owatonna Today Show supporters. We do want to welcome back RNK Electric as a supporter of the Owatonna Today Show. So welcome back to RNK. We have a very good program coming up for you today. Our first segment is going to be, we're going to find out a little bit more about KOWZ's The Dirt Show and what The Dirt Show is all about and who the guests are and how it all pans out every week. A little bit later on in the program, Jane Nyquist joins us from Steele County Public Health, and we'll be talking about the July Speed campaign that's going on in cooperation with local and I think statewide law enforcement, and we'll know more about that a little bit later on in the program. So let's take our first break and we'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Jody Voisin with the staff at Fairview Animal Medical Center, your other family doctor. Fairview Animal Medical Center is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Recreational fires are allowed within the Owatonna city limits. They must be contained within a fire pit or a device designed for such use and can be 3 feet in diameter and no more than 3 feet high. They must be 25 feet from a building or combustibles. Only untreated or unpainted woods must be used. Fires must be attended by a person at all times that are capable of extinguishing the fire. This has been a safety tip from the Owatonna Fire Department.
Hi, we're Mark and Becky Stevens of the Owatonna Pizza Ranch.
And we support the Owatonna Today Show.
And I have a studio full here to talk about The Dirt Show. Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show on this Wednesday, July 11th, and we're going to introduce and get to know a little bit better. Klane Dushek joins us from KOWZ. How are you?
I am doing great.
Good. And we have Randy Queensland from Deer Creek Speedway, correct?
That's
How are
correct.
you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. And Darin Toot from Chateau Raceway. Did I get all that correct?
That's correct.
And if I didn't, all I had to do is just read their shirts, see, because they've all got their logos on, so I'm good to go. But the heart of the matter here is KOWZ's Dirt Show. Or actually not just KOWZ. Maybe I should clarify that right away. It's the Dirt Show on the combination of stations.
Yes, it first plays on our AM, which is KRUE 1170 AM every Saturday from noon to 1. And then it replays on KOWZ 100.9 FM from 11 p.m. to midnight.
Okay.
And I get the comment from people who don't know, why would you want the show 11 p.m. to midnight? If they're not a race fan, they don't realize that Arlington Raceway, Deer Creek Speedway, Cedar Lake Speedway are all getting out about 10:30. The drivers are loading up their cars, the fans are coming home, and on their way home, they're tuning in to hear their friends on the Dirt Show and see what's going on in local racing. So it's a perfect time.
Yeah.
When I was asked to maybe move the show to a different time, I checked in with a few people and they said, if you move it, we'll never get to hear it. We always listen Saturday night, and we've got a bunch of dedicated listeners to the noon show on AM.
Okay. Well, let's backtrack a little bit before we get a chance to talk to these two gentlemen as well. But the Dirt Show is about racing, right?
The Dirt Show is all about racing, and the concept of the show came up when we talked about where can you get local statistics on the local dirt tracks.
Okay.
And nobody out there was putting out the results.
Ah.
And so I brought up the
Opportunity.
concept, you know, how about if we give the results every Monday morning, like a 15-minute segment, and the idea was shot around, well, who's going to do that? Who knows anything about racing? And it came down to me.
Sometimes the person suggesting it gets that job, right?
Yes, so when the idea came about, we started out, we were just going to go on the air and I was going to read the results.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I thought, I'm going to get a driver's input on what's going on in the area, so I scheduled a driver's interview. Then we had sponsors start jumping on board. We've got great local sponsors, and pretty soon the show expanded into a 1-hour program within 2 weeks.
Very nice.
By the second week, it was on 2 different radio stations, and it's just blossomed ever since. Now we have a website, KOWZFM.com. You can go under the programming toolbar and go to the Dirt Show page. There is 130 hours of archived dirt shows. So if you want to go back and listen to Doug Wolfgang, Richard Petty, Rusty Wallace, Rocky Hodges, any of the local drivers, what I try to do each year is schedule 25 local drivers and 5 national drivers.
Amazing.
People who are in the National Hall of Fames with their driving records, people that when they look down the list and schedule, they'll recognize them immediately. So that's what we've done. We also diversify as far as open wheel. We have 5 sprint car drivers, 5 A mod, 5 B mod, 5 late model. We diversify between street stock and super stock. So if you listen one week and you're like, well, I'm not really a sprint car fan, so it was fun to listen to, but next week there's a late model driver on. So something for everybody to listen to.
A lot of different aspects to local racing too, which some of this, I must admit, goes over my head. I'm not sure exactly those different classifications that you're talking about, but people who do or who are in one or more of those or know about racing certainly know those terms much better than I would. And obviously, when you started this 5 years ago, there was a great market for it. And it immediately took off and expanded, so you found a niche that was not being filled, and good for you. Immediately,
and the stories that come up, the history that's involved with these drivers and their families. In fact, Saturday, the driver we had on was a 3rd generation. His father, Clyde Haslip, raced 1960 through 76 in St. Peter at a track that's now closed. Damon is the 2nd generation, and now his son Ty Haslip is racing, so just going way back in history.
Oh, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Well, let's get a chance to meet these 2 gentlemen that you brought on, and these are a couple of the local raceways that you promote and provide statistics for and find race car drivers that are on their tracks. And first, let's talk to you, Randy. Deer Creek Speedway is located where?
We're located on Highway 63, about 15 miles straight south of Rochester, Minnesota.
Okay, and how long has Deer Creek Speedway been in existence?
It originated in 1986. We're the 3rd owner. We purchased it in 2002. This is our 11th season.
All right, so talk a little bit about what you do at Deer Creek.
What we do, it's family owned and operated. Each one of us have our own responsibilities and areas. And this starts throughout the whole week. And then right on race day, everyone from my oldest son Ryan takes care of the track, everything. He'll start 3-4 days in advance getting it ready for the event, and his wife, my daughter-in-law Sue, is our scorer and director of points and getting everything coordinated and everybody paid. One of my other sons, Cole, is a full-time employee for Deer Creek, and he does a little bit from the office to the facility. And my other son, Justin, is our race director. He runs the actual show the night of the event as far as the cars go. My wife is one of our hosts in the suites for entertaining people, and then I just run around and talk to sponsors.
And supervise everybody.
Well, not really, no. Everyone has their ownership of area.
Okay, good.
And they're responsible for it. And it's been a good combination.
Good for you.
Good supporters and good sponsors and
now,
good employees.
Klane was mentioning before we started, you've got an event coming up. I don't even know if I'm going to get this right, but it starts with $25,000, so I'm going to let you go from there.
Okay. The Hanson Tire World Modified Dirt Track Championship race. And that's going to be the 22nd through the 25th of July.
July, coming up here real quick, okay.
And that is $25,000 to win. For that event, and there'll be over 100 modifieds from across 15, 16 states that show up to that event. So it's a large event.
I guess you've got a website probably, so if people are interested in Deer Creek Speedway, they can hop on there and find out.
DeerCreekSpeedway.com.
Okay, easy enough to remember. So good, best of luck with all your racing, and specifically this great big event that's coming up too, and we encourage our viewers, if you or know of someone that wants to find out more, to head there. Let's get a chance to meet Darin. Darin Toot, how are you?
Good, and you?
And you are located, you're at the Chateau Raceway, which is where?
Lansing, Minnesota, just 7 miles north of Austin on Highway 218.
Okay, and your Speedway's been in existence for how long?
Since 1956.
1956.
Yes.
Okay, that's an icon there, I'm sure, in the area.
We haven't owned it that whole time.
No, you look too young to have owned it that whole time. But it could be a family tradition there too.
Yeah,
What do you focus on at Chateau?
We focus on the weekly race program and a scattered of specials throughout the season. It's family owned, just like the Queensland's family. Me and my wife and I have a boy, and his girlfriend actually run the daily operations. Okay. Kind of the same scenario. We all do our own little jobs. Okay. I do a lot of the track prep. Me and my boy do that stuff during the day, race day, and my wife and my boy's girlfriend takes care of all the concession stand side of things. And so it's very similar operations. We run Friday nights, and we have some specials throughout the year. We have one in August that's coming up that is August 10th, the Corn Belt Late Models. Okay. And then the Labor Day USMTS race. Yep.
Okay, well, good for you. And again, contact information for you. You guys have a webpage?
ChateauRaceway.net.
That is easy. Just .com.net, and we can find you and your activities there and how to get there. And both of them are, of course, are very close to where our viewers are seeing us, unless they're out on the internet and they might be finding you elsewhere. But what a fascinating thing. Obviously, racing gets in the blood and gets passed along to the rest of the family, and I know that you're all very involved, so good for you for handling it that way, and obviously being out there. Klane was telling also that you are right out there, welcoming people as they come in and making sure that they had a great time for the evening, so I think that's just super. Good for you. Great businesses. Thank you very much. And so glad then the Dirt Show gets to promote folks like this. This is nice. It's the reason you do what you do, right?
This is exactly the reason I do what I do, because we want fans to get out to these tracks and support what we love, so it's here in the future for the little kids. Okay. So if they go on KOWZFM.com, they find you on the Dirt Show, does it have links to some of these guys and stuff too, or they can just go on and find archived information? Or they're direct linked from the Dirt Show page, so if you want to see their websites, you can just click onto their logos. It'll bring you right to Chateau Raceway or Deer Creek Speedway. Okay, so make sure you tune in if you have any interest in racing of any sort on a local level here, and Klane can be reached at 456-8404, so give him a call if you have any interest in. I'm sure you're always welcoming supporters as well. So thank you, Klane, thank you, Randy, and thank you, Darin, and best of luck with the rest of your seasons. Thank you. All right, thanks much. We'll take a break for our supporters, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dave Efforts with TPS Insurance, and we are proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, I'm Matthew Camp, the new plastic surgeon at Mayo Clinic Health System of Owatonna and Albert Lea. I trained in medical school at Wake Forest in North Carolina and completed plastic surgery training in Southern California at Loma Linda. Plastic surgeons provide a wide range of aesthetic and reconstructive surgery. We operate from head to toe. I look forward to meeting you.
I didn't just want another job, I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
I was new to town and I didn't know where to turn for a job, so I decided to express myself.
I decided to express myself, and they helped find the right career for me.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson with the Owatonna Business Incubator. We're here to help small businesses start and to grow. We're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, my name is Dave Olson and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back. Thanks again for joining us on this Wednesday, July 11th, and Jane Nyquist joins us from Steele County Public Health, as I mentioned. And so on one segment of the program, we're talking about raceways and speeding and going fast, but on the other segment of our program now, but this is for us regular drivers, right? We're not out on raceways and allowed to do these things.
No, I mean, they're allowed to do that and have a little fun, and it's a controlled environment. Yes. So it's all okay.
But you can't be driving like you're on the raceway when you're out and about. There's many, many reasons not to. I mean,
way too many.
or just plain
right.
old common sense. But
Yeah.
there is actually a July speed campaign going on. And I know a lot of times you are joined by law enforcement. Right now this morning, or at the time we're filming, we don't have them with us, but I know you've got a lot of the facts and figures here that we want to talk about.
We do. As of July 1st, law enforcement has increased the patrols and looking for speeders, looking for aggressive drivers. They're also looking for seatbelts and all the other things that, go along with driving. But they picked 7 days, called the 7 days of speed in July, where they have enhanced or increased law enforcement presence on roads. Sometimes it's across, and this is a statewide campaign. Sometimes it's, say, on 14, it might be from border to border. On 14, Highway 14, 35, it might be from north to south borders that they'll have this campaign. But it's going on. We had a couple of days already that have passed and more coming up.
Okay, some maybe concentrated around the holiday week, which of course we just
was
passed
one.
by.
There was one, on July 5th.
And of course we don't get to know, I jokingly said
Sadly,
before we
no.
started, I said, so do we know when the 7 days are, which
No.
would make no sense at all, because
No,
of course we want,
no.
you want them to be, obviously if we were prepared for it, well,
we would
if we
be
tended to speed,
mindful.
we might behave on those days
That's
or whatever,
right.
but you want to make sure that you're out there enforcing it on regular driving.
That's exactly right. And I'm part of what's called a TZD, or Toward Zero Death program.
Yep, you've been
that
on
is
talking about that
we
before.
have. It's we've been here for seatbelts in May. Every few months there's a different focus. They do the speeding, they do seatbelt, they do child restraint, they do distracted driving, different promotions or increased enforcements throughout the year. And we also have a local coalition that just formed earlier this year, and we're looking for folks that are interested in traffic safety. Our ultimate goal is to reduce the number of deaths and crashes and serious injuries related to driving. Also, to change the culture. We have a culture of we're in a hurry, we want to speed, we're distracted. If you look at some of the new cars with all the gizmos inside compared to the old 78 olds I drove to work today, there's so much to cause distraction too. And it's amazing we don't have more distracted driving accidents. But the coalition meets every other month. We'll be meeting the 25th of this month at 1 p.m. at Public Health if anyone's interested. We're looking to collaborate with different organizations to get this message out, to run programs, we work with the media a lot to get the message out of what's going on. But we invite anybody that's interested to come and join us at that meeting.
The focus of the coalition is largely then Steele County. I mean, kind of keeping
Correct.
our community
Correct.
members safe, but
Yes.
obviously we're out driving in many other places than the community,
That's
so
exactly
the education carries over.
Well, it's a statewide campaign. It actually started in southeastern Minnesota, the Toward Zero Death, or TZD, movement, and then Southeast Minnesota really did a great job, and now they're expanding it to the rest of the state. I am part of that 11 counties in southeastern Minnesota. We do some regional things, we meet regionally, but we have to have local coalitions. Each county has a coalition, and they do all kinds of things. You've heard what do you call mock crashes. You know, when you hear about those at schools, they're often put on by this Toward Zero Death group. If there's a fatality in our community or a very serious accident, we will bring together what's called a fatal or fatality review committee to discuss commonalities about that accident. Was there an engineering issue? Was it a person that could be could control? You know, was it just a personal error? Was it conditions? Yeah. Did EMS not respond properly? We look at all kinds of things and see what we can do to improve that location and not allow that to happen anymore. But as you said earlier, this is July. This is the speed month. Typically, most accidents occur, or not accidents, I should say crashes, occur in the summer months. People, you know, in the winter we're more cautious, and if we're raining, we should be more cautious.
Yeah, it's funny because I think the opportunities to slip and slide and, you know, the variable, changeable winter weather in Minnesota would kind of lend itself. But then again, you know, we've got nice dry roads in the summer and people are taking vacations. So many more people probably out on the road in general.
And they feel they have a little more control because the conditions are normally drier. And so, but most of our fatalities and serious accidents do occur in the summer months. Also in rural Minnesota, about 2/3 of the fatal crashes and serious injuries occur in rural Minnesota.
Is that largely because of the 2-lane highways, do you think? Is it? I know that
You know, I
that's
don't
a
know the
dangerous, I know
answer.
the kids hear that in school, dawn, dusk, rainy conditions and 2-lane highways because the chance for a head-on, of course,
I think that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know specifically, but that makes sense.
Did I hear that, before we get into some statistics too, and I don't mean to downplay it, but did I hear that over the 4th of July we did pretty well? Was that just in the metro area, or was that statewide?
No, it was statewide. I don't think there were any accidents.
Any fatalities in any case?
No, I should say fatalities. There are a lot of swimming-related ones, but not traffic-related ones, which was wonderful. And over the last 3 years in Steele County, we've had 11 fatal crashes or accidents. Again, I use the word accident. I should use crash. 11, and out of those, 2 were speed-related.
Okay.
And the other ones were related to seatbelt or pedestrian, that kind of
Okay,
thing.
well, let's talk about the focus of this one at this particular time. There's an aspect to it that's concentrating on motorcycle safety, correct?
That's right. During the Saturdays of July, there is increased enhanced enforcement of motorcycle driving. They want to encourage motorcyclists to wear those helmets because they are about the most effective way to save your life, and also to slow down. And because car drivers don't always notice motorcyclists, and motorcyclists have to be doubly responsible and watch out for everyone else, unfortunately.
We as car drivers need to be aware of it, but the motorcyclists also need to be aware that they're smaller. They're going to be a little more, and there's more of a blind spot for them too.
Definitely.
There's awareness on both sides.
Yeah, and the drivers of vehicles need to look and stop at the intersection and look and actually see. I know a lot of times we all stop, it's kind of remote control, we stop, we look, but did we really see?
Right.
So we want folks to slow down, because in an accident, when you lose control of your vehicle, when you're going faster, you're going to have a more serious crash. More risk of a death. And also a couple other points I wanted to make. The potential for losing the control of your vehicle is going to be greater the faster you go. And one other thing is the stopping time really increases. The distance increases when you're going faster.
And it's all physics, I would say.
It is physics.
It really is.
It's
that
physics.
You have a body in motion, and it's going faster. It's going to take longer to stop. I mean, it just makes sense. But if you think about that, and you're in this powerful vehicle, whatever it is,
2,000-pound plus,
a truck, a car, a motorcycle, a whatever, you're in a powerful vehicle with horsepower and momentum behind it. And I think we can get kind of automatic and forget about those things that can make it very dangerous. So we need to be reminded.
That's for sure. And so we need to be aware of this. We need to be wearing those seat belts. We need to have things inside the vehicle battened down, because as Dee Von Wall from the Owatonna Police Department has stated earlier, even a box of Kleenex that maybe weighs a half a pound, you multiply that half a pound weight of the Kleenex box by the speed you're going, and that's the pound impact of that thing hitting you. So if you're going 60 miles an hour, half a pound would be a 30-pound, a half a pound box of Kleenex. 30-pound weight hitting you, and that's not
and some
light.
people keep. That's good to note, because people do keep. Sometimes I notice people will toss stuff up on the dashboard as a place to keep it.
We all do.
And well, it's to me it's really disconcerting, because I hate things rolling across. So it bothers me. But I do notice it, or in the back.
In the back,
too.
especially.
And if all of a sudden you have an impact,
you stop, and that stuff's going to keep going. Yeah.
So that is an interesting thing to point out. We can't just decorate our cars and set things all over the place, because in case of an impact, that's going to make a big difference. Is there a lot of aggressive driving too?
Oh, there is. I mean, you do hear about it a lot. One thing to look for with aggressive driving is someone who might ignore turn signals, traffic signals. They might speed, they might tailgate, they might weave in and out of traffic.
Sure.
One thing to do if you see somebody that you feel is being aggressive is get out of their way.
Okay.
It's not worth it.
Right.
Stay calm. Get to your destination. That's your goal.
Right.
Don't challenge them. Don't make eye contact with them. If they make any gestures, hand gestures, or facial gestures, ignore them and just move on. If you can get a description of the vehicle, the make, the model, the color, the license plate, call it into law enforcement. They do want to know that, and they will follow up with it.
That's a scary thing, because if you do challenge someone who's got aggression or rage or something like that, and they start to use their vehicle as a weapon, technically, to try to get back at you, that's not going to be a good situation.
It's not a good thing.
Take the high road on that.
Take the high road, slow down, wear your seatbelts. And even if it's not you speeding, somebody else's speed does affect you. So everyone needs to just
slow down,
be
safe. Let's make it a great summer.
Make it a great summer.
Yep.
Your destination, your event you're going to is more important than monkeying around on the freeway.
Yeah,
or highway.
and quite honestly, the couple of minutes, and it literally boils down
That's
to that,
exactly
that
right.
you're going to save.
Only a couple.
It doesn't make that much difference.
And plus,
so.
if you get a ticket, depending on how
It'll be
much,
longer.
well, how much longer or how much higher over the speed limit you're going, could be quite pricey.
Yeah, well, Jane, good work with you and law enforcement.
Thank
Remember
you.
that it's the July speed campaign. It's going on. There's going to be several more days that they're going to be out there and looking
That's right.
to combat some of these very, very dangerous things. So be mindful, be aware. Let's
Exactly
keep let's head towards zero deaths.
That's exactly
as Jane
right.
says. So
Jane's
thank
his
you.
culture.
All right, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. We'll take a break for our supporters. We'll be right back.
Hi, Warren Abraham, Abraham Consulting Technologies, your one-stop technology shop. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House in Clarebridge, and we're a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
And welcome back just in time to wrap up the program here on this Wednesday, July 11th. We want to remind you that during the month of July, not only is there a speed campaign going on, like we just heard from Jane Nyquist, but also a little bit more locally and a little bit more slowed down. You Betcha Dogs, the hot dog wagon who we had on our program sometime earlier when she first kicked off her program is down at the Pocket Park in Owatonna in downtown, where all the murals are in the middle of downtown throughout the month of July. So kind of over the lunch hour, and I know you can head to her website and find out more about when she is there too, and she'll be there during the month of July. Also, coming up tomorrow, Thursday, July 12th, ventriloquist Sherry Ellingson performing for all ages at the Owatonna Public Library at 10 o'clock. The program is called Gator Alley and Company. And then coming up next Thursday, if you want to mark your calendar, July 19th, they will have representatives and their friends from the Raptor Center, and that's designed for all ages 6 and up, and that will be at 10 o'clock next Thursday, all part of the Owatonna Public Library's summer reading program. Steele County Historical Society has their new exhibit called A History of Wildlife, the People in the Land of Steele County, and along with that great exhibit that we encourage you to go see are some speakers. Rick Erpelding of the DNR will be speaking tomorrow evening, July 12th at 7 p.m. in the History Center Wenger Room, and then the third in the series will be Greg Oswald of Oswald Fisheries, Fish Farming and Bait Production, and he will be on hand Thursday, August 2nd at 7, also in the History Center Wenger Room. So, of course, lots of things going on at our Steele County History Center. We've got Music in Owatonna presenting Bluegrass coming up at the Gainey Center grounds this Saturday, July 14th, with a history presentation at 11 o'clock, and then music all afternoon from noon to 6 with Copper Creek, the High 48s, and Monroe Crossing. You can get your $5 per person tickets, just a little bit of money. Bring your lawn chair, bring your blanket, and you can get your tickets at Tone Music in downtown Owatonna. They will have food and beverages on the ground and available, and it's going to be a great day. It's going to go on rain or shine, and it's just a great outdoor event of bluegrass music here this coming Saturday. Coming up next week, Steele County Safety Council has their regular meeting on July 18th. The program topic will be occupational noise, and the Steele County Safety Council welcomes any and all who are interested to come and join them for that. Coming up on Friday's program, Steele County Blades. We hope to see you then. Have a great day.